tropical update. We've been doing weather schools on Wednesday, but this one's going to be a weather school slash tropical update because this is the big weather story across the country, I would say, at the moment right now. So what we're monitoring is Tropical Storm Cristobal. Wanted to give you the latest advisory that came out from the National Hurricane Center, which was at 1 p.m. So it was about an hour and 20 minutes ago. The next advisory will be issued at 4 p.m. That'll be a complete advisory. We'll have a little bit more details. Right now, Cristobal is on top of Mexico, southern Mexico. As a matter of fact, it made landfall as a tropical storm, and it's currently moving near Ciudad del Carmen, Mexico. Unfortunately, this has been a situation where it has brought life-threatening and flash flooding concerns, and also already several deaths reported because of the flash flooding. So this is a life-threatening situation for Mexico, even Central America. We had reports of that earlier. And the reason why we're watching this very, very closely is because computer models are still bringing the forecast track to the northern Gulf Coast. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. This is what we call the cone of uncertainty. And the reason for that is because this is giving us a forecast. When you put all of the computer models together, there is a lot more uncertainty the further out you go in the forecast, and that's why that cone expands and it becomes a little bit more uncertain. But basically, if you are in the path of that cone, or if you're located inside the cone, you need to be on guard. Okay, let's walk you through very, very slowly the forecast track that we'll be talking about the next couple of days. So right now, over Mexico is where Cristobal is. It's going to continue to move southeast very slowly, and we're not seeing until Thursday, late Thursday into Friday, where it will begin to take a northerly turn. Notice it drops from a tropical storm status to a depression, and that's because it's been on land. So whenever tropical systems are on land, they start to deteriorate very, very rapidly, and that's because it doesn't have enough moisture to fuel the system. The land helps break apart that storm, so you lose all the characteristics needed in order for a tropical system to thrive. But once it goes back in the Gulf waters, this is why we have to watch it very, very closely, as Cristobal will, by Friday, getting closer to Saturday, gain strength. It's going to regenerate with the warm Gulf waters back to a tropical storm. This is Friday into Saturday, and we're going to have to really keep a close eye on this system because then it picks up speed. By Sunday, it is nearing the Louisiana coast as a pretty healthy tropical storm. So tropical storms need sustained winds of 39 miles an hour. 65-mile-an-hour winds would keep it at a pretty healthy tropical storm. Once it gets to 74 miles an hour winds, that's considered a Category 1 hurricane. So good news is that we are not seeing Category 1 hurricane strength, as it is expected to move inland, and right now somewhere along the Louisiana coast is our best bet. But remember the cone of uncertainty. Us in Houston and east of Houston, are still included in the very western edge of that cone of uncertainty. So this is why we need to stay up to date on the forecast at least 2 times a day with each of these advisories that come out, especially once the system goes back in the Gulf water. This path may change, the cone may change, and we have to stay on top of it in case those changes do include the Houston area more in that cone. Now, the good news is that majority of computer models are keeping it east. Excuse me, this is actually showing our computer models that what the spaghetti models were showing yesterday. I want to fast forward to the shift in the track. So this is what spaghetti models are showing now. Did you notice the easterly shift? So a lot of the models are agreeing at the moment that the system should stay east of Houston. These are computer spaghetti models from yesterday, bringing it back and then fast forwarding to that shift, and which is why we are on the very, very western edge of the cone of uncertainty. Okay, right now winds are still sustained at 50 miles an hour. Here's the latest from the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center, which came out at 1 p.m. Moving very slowly at southeast at 3 miles an hour. and we're going to be watching the storm. It's going to take several days for it to go back into the Gulf of Mexico, but by this weekend, we all need to continue to watch the forecast in case the path of this storm does change. Okay, so right now is not the time that we need to panic whatsoever. It is a time that we need to prepare, though. A lot of us have a lot of supplies from COVID, right? From stocking up on food or any supplies. This is the time where you can go through those supplies or possibly replenish them if you did already go into those supplies. And then you can just convert that to your hurricane kit, right? Easily. A lot of us are probably already halfway there, halfway prepared with our COVID preparedness kits. And now we're going to transfer that to our hurricane preparedness plan, which not only includes a hurricane kit, but also your plan of action. So know your evacuation routes. Make sure you're talking with your loved ones, just communicating, hey, what's our plan if a situation does arise where we would have to possibly evacuate, right? Communication is key, and right now is the best time to do that before the system gets closer. Now, I wanted to show you forecast rainfall because two of our best computer models, the GFS, which is the Global American model, and then the European computer model, they're keeping the heavy rain east of us. So this is good for the Houston area, not so good for Louisiana. We would be on the cleaner, quieter side of this tropical system. So the front right quadrant of any tropical system is what we call the dirty side. That's where we have major heavy rain concerns. And then typically if we are on the left-hand side of the system, it's much drier. So that's what our rainfall forecasts are, around 1 inch for the GFS forecast model. That's what it's showing. This is the European model, showing about 1 inch as well. So they are doing a great job at agreeing. And this is what we look at as meteorologists, and what helps us build our forecast is how well these computer models are agreeing. Sorry, didn't mean to show you that graphic there, but if you didn't know, it's raining outside. There's a good amount of storms that are ongoing right now. So what I wanted to show you was a comparison of what our forecast computer models are showing for the European and the GFS computer model. So this is taking us into Sunday. If we do have landfall somewhere along the upper Gulf Coast, the European model, see the green lines? That's what we call isobars. Isobars are equal lines of areas of pressure. And a tropical system is an area of low pressure. So the red isobars, the red lines that we see, that's the GFS computer model. The green ones are the European model. Notice how very, very close they are. So the GFS does have a slightly later landfall along the Louisiana coast. European computer model is agreeing kind of on the same location. It's just making landfall a little bit sooner. So we cannot, we're not 100% certain at this time where the exact location of landfall would be. We have a good consensus here, especially with computer models that are agreeing, but the timing is still up in the air. We still have to pinpoint that. And again, once this system is back in the Gulf waters, this could change. This could really change because we need computer models to pick up what's going on within this storm once it's back in the open Gulf of Mexico waters. So, all right, that's the latest update from the 1 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Again, the next advisory will come out at 4 p.m. If we have any changes, I'll have those latest updates on the 411, so you guys can tune in on that. We are constantly updating everything on digital also. If you have the KHOU app, such a great app to have because you can easily click on there, click on the bottom weather icon, and that will take you straight to articles with the latest updates. You can see all of the graphics that I'm showing right here straight on your phone with the latest forecast cone, the spaghetti models, and also just what's going on in terms of winds and the strength within the system. Okay, so I hope you guys have a safe Wednesday. Stay dry out there. I'll be talking not only about the daily rain chances in our forecast, but also, again, the latest information coming out from the National Hurricane Center at 4. We'll chat with you soon. Have a happy Wednesday.